The Quest 3, the most anticipated VR headset, is finally here. But is it worth your money? Is it a good VR headset? All these questions and more will be answered. I've been using VR for a long time. I own or have tried almost every single VR headset on the market, including the Quest 2, Quest Pro, and Quest 1. I'm also biased towards PCVR, and I wasn't a big fan of the Quest 2, as some of you may know, but I'm pleasantly surprised by this headset. Alright, let's get this out of the way. I did not buy this headset. I was given it for free by Val Uprising, who I work with sometimes, and I'm very grateful to them for that. But it wasn't given to me by Meta, I didn't sign a contract, and I'm gonna say whatever I want about this. Let's talk about what you get in the box. You get the headset, 2 controllers, a USB cable, and a power adapter, which is a nice touch. It's also more than what Apple includes with their $1,000 iPhones, so I can appreciate that. This feels lighter than a Quest 2, but I believe it's actually heavier by a couple of grams, so I'm not sure what trickery they're doing. Although I didn't have super long sessions with this, so if you are someone that used the Quest 2 for long play sessions, it's not going to be much better. It still comes with the absolute terrible default strap, so the Elite strap or a third-party strap will be necessary, and that's an additional $70. Or even more than that with future battery straps, which will also probably be necessary because the battery life on this thing is worse than the Quest 2. I didn't time it out, but the Quest 3 only seemed to last like an hour to an hour and a half while recording, so an external battery is probably going to be necessary. The controllers felt good. It's a noticeable improvement over the Quest 2. They felt nice to use, they're lightweight and sturdy, and track pretty well. I also have the Touch Pro controllers, which also work with the Quest 3, but I don't think it's necessary. I actually prefer the Quest 3 controllers because they're lighter. What I don't like about them is the battery thing. The Quest 2 also had this weird thing with batteries. The Touch Pro controllers are USB-C chargeable, and I would have liked to see that feature on the Quest 3. I don't get why we're still using replaceable batteries for VR headsets in 2023. I feel like it just creates more e-waste. The good news is they do last a very long time, and I haven't had to change the batteries yet. It's just kind of annoying. The headset also has 2 high-res displays, and the Quest 2 only had 1, so this is a massive improvement. You also have pancake lenses, so no more glare, and there's an actual IPD adjustment slider. Thank you, Meta, for adding back a staple feature that's been in headsets for years. The default face cushion is also really nice material, kind of like the Valve Index. They finally ditched the horrible foam that everybody hates, and you might not even need a VR cover with this because it seems fairly sweat resistant. There's an adjustment for how far you want the cushion on your face, but I didn't mess with it. The default placement was fine for me. If you wear glasses, that might be useful. Alright, the mixed reality and AR stuff. That's what Meta was putting on a ton of their advertising, and it's good. It's really good. It's the best I've ever seen in terms of AR, and it's a huge improvement over the Quest Pro, which also had color pass-through. The first time you put it on, it automatically goes into pass-through mode, and it's kind of amazing. You can walk around anywhere, read text messages, and even kind of use a computer with this. The hand tracking also seems better, and it now just runs natively at 120 FPS in the Quest Home. Room setup is the best I've ever seen. Gone are the days of having to manually draw out your play space. You can now just look around and it'll scan everything around you, including furniture, and adjust the play space according to that. Meta is definitely collecting data from this, but who cares? Nobody has any privacy anymore. It doesn't matter. But the room setup itself is really good. The AR stuff I tried are more like tech demos, but they're super fun and are technologically impressive. It really opened my eyes to what's possible with mixed reality in the future. One of the first demos I tried, First Encounters, has you defending your home from little alien creatures that will gradually break apart your house. It seems simple, but having these creatures run around your real living space and interacting with furniture is pretty mind-boggling. You can also remotely add windows from a PC and laptop and get like a multi-monitor setup while working, which was cool. The only thing I really want is like a native movie app for watching Netflix or HBO in mixed reality. There is a Netflix app, but it sucks and is super low resolution. So I'm hoping someone will make a good movie streaming app for the Quest 3 now that Meta has proven that mixed reality is actually viable and very cool. I'm honestly loving the AR stuff. Audio is decent. It uses the off-ear design like all the Quests before. It seems louder than a Quest 2, maybe slightly higher quality. It still has the same tininess that the Quest 2 and Quest Pro have, but it's a noticeable improvement for built-in audio. The mic I did not test, but from talking with other VR creators, they're saying it's worse than the Quest 2 mic. I usually just throw in a ModMic and call it a day. It does seem like a bigger issue with the Quest 3, so that might have been where they did some budget cuts to get the price down to $500. If you're planning to play online games, maybe look into another mic solution. Let's talk about gaming. As far as standalone VR games, you might be wondering if there's an improvement over the Quest 2, and there is. There's a nice bump in resolution effects and extra sharpness in games that are optimized for the better processor, but I wouldn't say it's a significant improvement. The VR games on standalone still look low res compared to PCVR gaming, but it's ultimately not really my cup of tea and never has been. That's not to say there's not good standalone VR games, I'm just personally not really into it. If you do like standalone gaming and you were on a Quest 2, I think it's a nice improvement, but it's not enough to make me want to switch over from PCVR. Let's go into PCVR capability. So I tried this out using AirLink. I did not bother with a cord. For the record, my main headset and daily driver that I use for pretty much everything is a Vive Pro I with the wireless adapter, which has near zero latency and no compression. I tried out a variety of games and I thought the experience was decent, but that also depended on the software. Things like Half-Life Alyx ran absolutely fine and I didn't have any issues with it. I actually noticed a good improvement over the Quest 2 with PCVR, which I never liked using over AirLink. But then I tried some of the Bethesda games like Skyrim and Fallout VR and the cracks started showing. I was getting heavy latency, compression, and the performance was dipping by a large amount. I compared this directly to a Vive Pro with the wireless adapter and cranked the resolution up to the same amount as the Quest, and all those issues disappeared. Is this a good headset for PCVR? I think it's decent. It's not bad. In fact, it's a big improvement over the Quest 2, which I was never a fan of and was pretty vocal about how much I disliked it. Will this replace my Vive or Pimax Crystal? Would I choose to actively use a Quest 3 for PC VR gaming? Probably not. Overall, I do think you're going to get a better experience with a dedicated PC headset, especially if you're interested in extra peripherals like index controllers, full body tracking, facial tracking, haptic suits, etc. But that's not to say the Quest 3 is bad. Dedicated PC headsets cost a ton of money and the Quest 3 is cheap by comparison. It's finally getting to a point where I can say this is a decent experience on PC, which is never something I like saying about the Quest 2. So is the Quest 3 bad? No, I think it's a good headset. Meta has improved a ton with this. There's still some things I would have liked to see, like the face and eye tracking that was on the Quest Pro. Overall though, this is a pretty significant improvement over the Quest 2. The AR and mixed reality stuff is the best I've ever seen, and I'm going to be using this primarily for the AR capabilities and messing around with that. Alright, here's my final thoughts on if you should go and buy this. If you have a Quest 2 right now and you're looking for an upgrade, this is a decent upgrade. The standalone stuff isn't mind-blowingly better, but it's a nice improvement. If you're interested in AR, this is the best mixed reality device you're going to find in 2023. The experiences are refreshing and pretty interesting. If you want it for PC VR, I might have some different opinions from the majority. I would recommend that you save your money and look into a dedicated headset. Either the Big Screen Beyond, Pimax Crystal, or Valve Index 2 if Gabe Newell ever gets his head out of his ass. If you're on a budget and don't want to save up or just aren't interested in a dedicated system, the Quest 3 is not terrible for PC VR, but it's also not the best. It's okay. But a dedicated system costs a ton of money, which is not in the cards for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. The Quest 3 is not bad. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think of the Quest 3 in the comments section, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.